The following podcast is a W2M Network original production. Visit W2Mnet.com for all of our other great podcasts, plus news, reviews, articles, and opinions from the worlds of wrestling, video games, football, and entertainment.
All right. Welcome, everybody, to the 10th episode of the SCU Show. I'm your host, SCU. We finally made it to the big 1-0. It's been about 4 months, a lot of things have happened. But we finally made it to the big 1-0. It's a milestone. That might be a milestone for a lot of people, but to me, it's a good milestone. Getting to that big 1-0. I can't wait till we reach episode 100, which probably won't happen for a long time, because we do a show once a week for now. And it's looking like it's going to stay that way. One show a week. Up until probably I'm on actual radio airwaves. Well, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. For now, we're here once a week here on W2Net.com, soon to be on Around.com, and possibly lastwordonsports.com as well. So let's start tonight off by talking about Bob Stoops. Bob Stoops has retired from the University of Oklahoma football team after, I believe, 13 seasons with the team, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Great coach. He beat Nick Saban at the Sugar Bowl. He's won a national title, maybe two. Done great things at Oklahoma. And now he's gone, just like that. Just steps down, decides, I want to live my life. And you can't blame the guy. There's a cousin time where you just have to live life. Very hard work is very important, obviously. Hard work pays off, all this good stuff. But you have to remember to enjoy life at the same time. And that's what Bob Stoops is doing. He's enjoying life. Now he's going to retire as the Oklahoma Sooners head coach. And that means there's a new Big 12 champion, ladies and gentlemen. A new Big 12 champion? Yeah. Who could possibly be? Well, who else but the Oklahoma State Cowboys? I've been a huge fan of the Oklahoma Cowboys. I'm speaking too fast. Oklahoma State Cowboys. I've been a huge fan of the Oklahoma State Cowboys for the past 2 seasons. They have such a great offense that their offense is amazing. Led by quarterback Travis Rudolph and wide receiver, running back, kick returner, you name it. James Washington does it all. He does everything on that team. He is absolutely amazing. I'm a huge fan of that team. I think they're going to do great things. In fact, I believe now that Bob Stoops has stepped down, he's no longer the head coach of Oklahoma. This gives Oklahoma State the perfect chance to jump on top of the Sooners this year and clinch the Big 12 title. And then I'm looking at their schedule. Looks fairly easy. Tulsa, South Alabama. Pitt without James Conner. No Nathan Peterman either. TCU. Texas Tech, no Pat Mahomes. Baylor, we won't even go there with Baylor. We talk about Baylor, that football team is something else. Texas, we'll get to that in a sec, because there's something on Texas that people might say, oh, but this, that, and the other, whatever. Oklahoma, obviously. Probably won't be the same without Bob Stoops, at least for this upcoming year. Iowa State, not very impressive football team in the Big 12. Kansas State, not a very impressive team. And then there's Kansas. They're Kansas. They haven't been relevant in football since 2007. So the schedule alone gives Oklahoma State a big edge in the Big 12. That's a big thing right there. But it's not just Bob Stoops that's keeping Oklahoma from winning the Big 12 title this year. There's other things too. I mean, look who they have. They have Baker Mayfield, great quarterback. He's a very impressive quarterback. But now 2 of his best teammates are gone. Joe Mixon's with the Cincinnati Bengals, and Dede Westbrook somewhere in the NFL as well. I'm not saying Baker Mayfield will fall off the rock just because his best guys are gone. He can make things happen. He could. I'm not saying he won't. He could make it happen with new guys. But if he can't, and this team, this is Baker Mayfield's team now. If he can't get it done in 2017, Oklahoma State's going to jump on that. They're going to win the Big 12, and they could possibly see themselves in the college football championship. College football playoff, that's what I meant. Another thing that makes it a little easier for the Cowboys. Another thing that makes it easier for the Cowboys is that the Big 12 has got to be the softest conference in the Power 5, with all Power 5. How about the SEC? The SEC is a very impressive conference. They're getting more impressive, too. Yeah, Alabama runs everything. They win every year. Georgia's being impressive. I forget their quarterback's name, but I have a friend, an old colleague, that covers the Georgia Bulldogs for BulldogIllustrated.com. And I've seen his quarterback play. I've seen the running back play. Nick Chubb, great running back, by the way, for Georgia. Auburn's impressive. Arkansas is getting somewhere. LSU, obviously, they're going somewhere. Florida just got a great new quarterback, Malik Zai something. I should know his name, but I don't. Then there's the Big 12. I'm going to pull up these teams, and then we'll go through them all. A lot of softies. A lot of softies in the Big 12. We'll start with the Sooners. Yeah, they got, again, it's Baker Mayfield or bust for the Sooners. If he can't make it, if he can't get it done, they're not winning the Big 12. I'm not going to say they're not going to compete because the Big 12 is so soft. It's going to be Oklahoma State on top, and then it's going to be Oklahoma right behind them. West Virginia, Skylar Howard, I believe, is gone. Now that Skylar Howard's gone, who's going to lead the team? Nobody. Baylor. Do I even have to say it? They're Baylor. They have so much going on, they're not going to be focused on football. They might even have a football team by the time the season starts. Texas Tech. Pat Mahomes was that team. Pat Mahomes is now with the Kansas City Chiefs, ready to ride the bench. But that's another story for another time. Pat Mahomes is gone. Not much for Texas Tech to be looking at right now. Kansas State hasn't been much in a while. Before I go into Texas, I'm going to skip Texas for a second. Kansas. They're Kansas. Their football team is not relevant in 10 years. Going on 11. Iowa State, crap team. TCU, haven't been done anything since Trayvon Boykin was there. Now he's the third string quarterback for the Seahawks. All right, so let's go into Texas now. A lot of people will say, but Tom Herman. Okay, Tom Herman's an impressive coach. Where he was. I mean, nobody knows what he's going to do at Texas. They hired him because, and this is what I believe, obviously, this is my show, this is my opinion. The only reason that Tom Herman got hired at Texas is because Greg Ward Jr. was the average quarterback and won them 10 games 2 years in a row. What does he have at Texas? Not much. They haven't had a good quarterback since Colt McCoy back in 2008, 2009. It's been 8 years. You think because Tom Herman comes in? I mean, Mac Brown couldn't find a great quarterback, and he's going to the College Football Hall of Fame one day. Mac Brown couldn't find a great quarterback. What makes Texas fans or anybody, college football fans alike, think that Tom Herman's going to find the next Colt McCoy? I don't see it happening. Of course, you never know what happens. Anything can happen. Anything can happen in any sport. But as the way I see it, Texas hasn't had a great quarterback in 9 years, and I don't see it happening this year. So take Texas out of the equation as well. Plus, then you have Devonta Foreman, their running back. He just went pro. So now they don't have that great running back to help them out, carry the load. There's a lot of things going on there. So I want to thank everybody for listening to this podcast. If you are listening on WTM.com, iTunes, Stitcher, Google+, whatever the case may be, Thank you for listening to this podcast. It's good. It's a great podcast so far. Keep it going. And here's another thing that I heard. It's not official. It's not big. It's whatever. Missouri and Auburn are discussing switching conferences. More college football talk here. Missouri and Auburn are thinking about switching conferences. Missouri, if I'm not mistaken, plays in the SEC West. Oh, here it is. I'm pulling up the article. This is from SB Nation. TeamSpeedKills.com. Time to consider moving Alabama and Auburn to the SEC East and Mizzou and Vandy out West. Oh, this is from last year. Okay, never mind. Point being, the idea was that Auburn would go to the SEC West and Missouri would go to the SEC East. Terrible idea. Absolutely terrible idea. Well, let's look at the teams that are in the SEC East. Florida. Malik Zaire. I believe that's his name, Malik Zaire. He's going to run that team. Right to the top. Not really. Oh, wait, no. I beg your pardon. Missouri is now in the SEC East. They're considering moving them to the SEC West and moving Auburn to the SEC East. Point being, you move okay, so let's start over here. You move up Missouri to the SEC West. Alabama, they're Alabama. They're going to dominate you every time y'all meet. LSU, they're on the rise. Yeah, Leonard Fournette's gone, big whoop. They find a great running back out every time. A&M on the rise. Arkansas on the rise. Mississippi State hanging around. Ole Miss hanging around. Always got that great quarterback in Ole Miss. So you're going from a bunch of cupcakes like Kentucky, South Carolina, and Vanderbilt, where you can beat them easy, to playing the toughest teams. We want to make sports more exciting, and they're throwing Missouri against Alabama every year. How does that make it more exciting? And not only that, switching Auburn means they're playing the cupcakes. They're going to dominate Kentucky. They're going to dominate the South Carolina Gamecocks. They're going to dominate the Vanderbilt, whatever they are. How does that make sports more exciting? It doesn't. I don't actually remember where I heard this rumor. It was a while back that I heard that this was a possibility. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I think it's a ridiculous idea. Absolutely ridiculous idea. Besides, if you have Auburn in the SEC East, there's no more Iron Bowl. Because those two division rivals won't face each other anymore. I mean, it was bad enough, in my opinion, when they had taken Missouri out of the Big 12. Back in, I don't remember what it was, but when Missouri moved to the SEC, I was very disappointed. Because there was a chance still that Kansas-Missouri rivalry that died in like 2009 could have came back. And those were some great games. If you ever watched those days had some epic finishes. Like in 2007, when Kansas was the last relevant. They got upset by Missouri in Lawrence, Kansas. It was a great game to watch. I remember that clear as crystal. And then there was that game where I think it was in Missouri. It was pouring rain. And Kansas won on a kick as time expired. Classic. Then you take Missouri, put them in the SEC, and there's no more rivalry. It's a shame. But we're all over the place here on the SCU show. Not only that, but it kind of doesn't make sense to put Missouri in the SEC East, the SEC West, because there's a lot more traveling for the team, which costs them more money, which means financial issues with the school, and it's just a big mess. A whole big mess right there. So Bob Stoops out at Oklahoma. Big one there. Big one. It's big for the school. It's big for the media. It's just big. The only thing standing in Oklahoma State's way was Bob Stoops. Now he's gone. There's nothing standing in their way from winning the Big 12 in 2017. Nothing. Nothing at all. If I'm not mistaken, this is actually the year they're bringing back the Big 12 title game, which is very exciting. Because, again, big games. Like the Texas-Nebraska one back in 2009. One can make the argument that Texas could possibly stay on Oklahoma State's trail, but I don't see it because they haven't had a great quarterback in 9 years. And I don't believe Tom Herman is going to bring him another one. I just don't see it happening. So there's that. There's Bob Stoops leaving. Oklahoma State's going to win the title. Coming up next, though, I said it a few weeks ago, and now it's just becoming more and more clear. I love when I'm right. That's next, SCU Show.
The following podcast is a W2M Network original production. Visit W2Mnet.com for all of our other great podcasts, plus news, reviews, articles, and opinions from the worlds of wrestling, video games, football, and entertainment.
Hello to all you Arena League football fans out there. I want to personally welcome you to join us, AFL Fan Zone, every Tuesday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time for a weekly recap of all things AFL. You got stuff to do on the weekends, which means you probably don't have time to sit down and watch every single game every week. That's where AFL Fan Zone comes in. Not only do we break down the week, but we provide you with everything you need to stay up to date with the AFL, including Players of the Week, Power Rankings, and the weekly standings. Best part is, the recap is fully interactive between the viewers and the host. Just search AFL Fan Zone on YouTube and you can find all of our archived videos, including game previews, recaps, and weekly updates. You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, and at our website at www.aflfanzone.com. AFL Fan Zone, your internet home for the best AFL fans.
Hi, I'm Donovan James, and welcome to the Don James High School Football Report, everybody, where we discuss and debate the hottest prep and college football recruiting topics in the country every week. Only here on NGSC Sports, 9:30 Eastern. For more, follow me on Twitter at Don James Sports.
It's game time, boys, and we know football. Football the Max is the podcast for you if you want in-depth analysis over the NFL and college football. We preview all the action coming your way over the weekend. And we break down all the big action after it's happened. Plus, we tackle all the big news topics and discuss everything when it comes to the gridiron. So come check out Football to the Max every Tuesday morning and Friday morning on the W2M Network.
Are you an arena football fan looking for the latest news involving your team? Inside the Arena has you covered. Check us out for the latest news around both the Arena Football League and the Chinese Arena Football League. Read all of our stellar articles at InsideTheArena.org. Also, follow us on Twitter at Inside_Arena and like us on Facebook at Facebook.com/InsideTheArena.
Welcome back to the SCU Show. I'm your host, SCU. I love when I'm right. Because when I'm right, it makes me feel good. Especially when I'm writing a podcast or I'm writing an article and I got this point and then the point turns out to be right. Love it. I think it's only happened twice since I've been doing this for 3 years. I've been doing this for 3 years now. And there's 2 times in the 3 years I've been doing journalism, if you want to call it that I feel good about being right about something. The first time was when I wrote an article for rsenreport.com about how I was writing an article about the many positions that Dak Prescott could play. Well, after he was drafted 4th round, 135th overall by my Cowboys, I wrote an article about the possible positions he could play because I watched him at Mississippi State. He had done so many things. He could do more things. He could be a running back, a wide receiver. And then I said, if he ever had a chance to be quarterback, if Tony Romo had suffered another injury, which lo and behold he did, Dak would carry his team on his back and bring him to the playoffs. And I wrote that. And then they went 13-3. He won Rookie of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year. And they were a holding call missed by the refs away from beating the Packers in the NFC division round. So that was the first time I was ever like, I'm so proud of myself. Pat on the back. All that. And now here we are, ladies and gentlemen. The second time I'm happy about something that I'm right about. The Yankees. Love it. I said it a few weeks ago on this show, right before the baseball season started, actually. It was my baseball preview show. I said Yankees Nationals in the World Series. The Nationals are doing pretty well for themselves, I'm sure. I haven't probably paid much attention to them, even though I'm living about 3 hours from D.C. I should be watching the Nationals more than I am. But my Yankees are killing it. And I'm loving it. And it's all thanks to Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge leads the league. And I believe, last I checked, it was 20 home runs. Awesome. Love it. The Yankee Stadium even has a little, like a seating area named after him or something like that. I find that a little ridiculous. What is this, the first year I'm hearing of him, at least. And they gave this guy his own seating area. This is something you do for a guy like A-Rod or Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, Mickey Mantle. Not for Aaron Judge. A little ludicrous, but hey, it is what it is. When you're doing well, you deserve recognition, right? The Yankees are doing well. It's not just Judge, though. It's the whole team. 6 batters, 6 players on the Yankee offense have hit double-digit home runs. Amazing stat right there, if you ask me. Amazing stat. They've hit over 100 home runs, and we're 2 months into the season. We still got 3 months of baseball left, 4 months of baseball left. I don't know the record for most home runs hit by a team in one season, but the Yankees I'm sure they are creeping close to that. And they are doing so well on offense. I am so impressed by my Yankees. I love every moment of it, and I'm loving that I'm right about it. I've said that they beat the World Series. They're proving it to me right now that they are a World Series caliber team. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. You know what's really more impressive? And you would think, if you want to be successful, and I've said this so many times on the show, I've said it so many times in my life, teamwork makes the dream work. Well, the dream is working for the Yankees, but team, not so much. And it's more, and this is astounding. This shocks the hell out of me. I cannot believe this stat. Masahiro Tanaka, the Yankees Japanese pitcher, pardon me, has a 6.05 ERA. Ouch. Last year he was throwing 20 strikeouts a game. Now he's a 6.05 ERA. Stats brought to you by ESPN.com. Wow. I mean, it's mind-blowing. How a guy can go from being such a star to a stud. And he's not the only pitcher, though. He's the only pitcher that's not doing so well for the Yankees. There are a few pitchers that are not doing so well for the Yankees. And I got the list here, again, courtesy of ESPN.com. Sabathia has the 3.66 ERA. Now, that's not terrible. It's not. But I think the average ERA for a pitcher should be about 3.0. So 3.66, there's something to work out there. Of course, Sabathia has had his troubles over the past couple of seasons with the Yankees. So not a huge surprise. But seeing him struggle like this and seeing how the team is performing, it's shocking to me. Then there's Aroldis Chapman, 3.55. I believe he's a saver. A closer saver. Pitcher. However you say it. I'm not good with terminology. But 3.55, this is from a guy that really impressed last year for the Yankees last year. A little shocked, again, that he's struggling the way he is. Michael Pineda. I don't know. I'm not good with names. 3.99. I've heard a lot of good things about him. A little shocked there. So, yeah, the Yankees pitching, not the best. So this is one instance where I can say the teamwork does not always make the dream work. Usually it does. But the offense is what's keeping this team alive right now. They're even on top of MLB.com's power rankings. And they have the best record in baseball. They are in the third, if I'm looking up right now, but I believe they have the third best record in baseball. Third. Behind teams like you would never expect to have these type of records. Like the Houston Astros, I believe, have the best record in baseball right now. Houston Astros were doing nothing 2 years ago. It's amazing how the Astros have turned it around so fast, just like that. Snap a finger, damn, bam. Houston Astros are on top of baseball world. At 44-21, the Astros have the best record in baseball. And then you got the Colorado. Oh, this is such a huge surprise. Last year, the Rockies finished way below 500. Way below. Now they're at 41-25. They've won 7 of 10. This whole baseball season is a bunch of surprises to me. The Diamondbacks are 39-26. Half a game behind the Dodgers. That is like, wow. You would never expect that. With the Diamondbacks, one of the most mediocre franchises of baseball, half a game behind the Dodgers, the historic franchise. Insane. Nationals at 38-25. The Twins are another one. They're 32-28. Last year the Twins, I believe, had the worst record in baseball. Now they're on top of the division by a game over the defending AL champs. Season is full of surprises. There's so many surprises this year. Like the Blue Jays, who were in the ALCS last year, are in last in the division. 8 games behind the Yankees in the AL East. Crazy. Life just wham, hits you sometimes, and you're like, wow, I didn't see that coming. So like I said, second time I write about something. I said the Yankees were a World Series caliber team. They're playing like a World Series caliber team. Pat on the back of me again. Long way to go with my sports journalism, sports podcasts, and radio and all that. So I look forward to being right a lot more. So now the question lies. Yankees are doing so well. They're doing so great. Which is a huge shock. So I know it's not just me. I know many people think that this is a huge shock to them as well. So a lot of people might be saying that the Astros could down the Yankees in 7 in the ALCS. No. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Astros we're talking about. Houston has not done well over the past couple of years. They're hot right now, sure. I give them that. 44-21 record. But there's still, like I said earlier, there's still 4 months of baseball left to play. And knowing the Houston Astros, I'm not sure they won't go cold as the summer heats up. Who knows? They might be sitting at 44-44 come near the end of the season, halfway through the season, near the All-Star break or after almost, or whatever it is. You just never know. Knowing Houston, that's what I can expect from them, though. Houston, the Astros are not a winning franchise. They're surprising people right now with the best record in baseball. But like I said, wham, life comes at you fast. Don't expect Houston to be sitting on top of the baseball world for much longer. I give 2 weeks. I come back on the show in 2 weeks. Yankees had the best record in baseball. 2 weeks. So today's July 13th, June 13th, pardon me. June 27th. I'll come back on the show and the Yankees will have the best record in baseball. Wait and see. Wait and see. Yankees are currently third. Third best record in baseball. They'll have the best record in baseball in 2 weeks. If they keep this up. Okay, so what if the Yankees beat the Astros? They advance to the World Series. Who's the biggest star in the NL? Is it the Nationals? No, not right now. They're not now. Haven't heard much from Bryce Harper. Of course, he's still hitting home runs like it's nobody's business. But the rest, and Max Scherzer did get to 2,000 strikeouts. That's great and all. Other than that, they're not making national headlines. They're not impressing as much as most would think they should be. Could be, should be, all that. No, as of right now, in the middle of June, we are literally halfway through the year, by the way. 2017 is flying by. We're halfway through the year. It's the Rockies. Rockies have the best record in baseball. I don't know how they're getting it done. I don't pay attention to the Colorado Rockies. The Colorado Rockies are getting it done. But just like Houston, not a great baseball team over the past few years. They're not. I expect the Rockies, just like the Astros, to fall off their rocker. Yeah, I do. I don't think that the Rockies can keep this going the rest of the way. I definitely don't think the Rockies can keep it going the rest of the way. Same with Houston. I don't think it's happening. I just don't see it happening. So you take away the Astros, take away the Rockies, and who do you have? Nobody. You take those two teams away, there is nobody standing in the way of the Yankees winning the World Series this year. Not even the World Champion Chicago Cubs. Cubs are struggling. They will get it back together. They will get it together. They are a great team. They go curse, Steve Bartman curse. It's all a load. It's all it is a load. They proved that last year winning the World Series in 7 over the Indians. I'm so happy. I hope I stay right all the way through October. It's going to be a great season for the Yankees. It's such a great season. I've talked to people from W2Mnet.com, people from all over the place, tell me they thought the Yankees would be nothing this year, especially after A-Rod retired. They thought nothing would come good would come out. But I saw good things during spring training, and I knew this team was going to the World Series. I just know it. I'm that good. I'm not. All right, coming up next, big NFL thing happened. And you know what? It means nothing. That is next, SCU Show.
Hello to all you Arena League football fans out there. I want to personally welcome you to join us, AFL Fan Zone, every Tuesday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time for a weekly recap of all things AFL. You got stuff to do on the weekends, which means you probably don't have time to sit down and watch every single game every week. That's where AFL Fan Zone comes in. Not only do we break down the week, but we provide you with everything you need to stay up to date with the AFL, including Players of the Week, Power Rankings, and the weekly standings. Best part is, the recap is fully interactive between the viewers and the host. Just search AFL Fan Zone on YouTube and you can find all of our archived videos, including game previews, recaps, and weekly updates. You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, and at our website at www.aflfanzone.com. AFL Fan Zone, your internet home for the best AFL fans.
Hi, I'm Donovan James, and welcome to the Don James High School Football Report, everybody, where we discuss and debate the hottest prep and college football recruiting topics in the country every week. Only here on NGSC Sports, 9:30 Eastern. For more, follow me on Twitter at Don James Sports.
It's game time, boys, and we know football. Football to the Max is the podcast for you if you want in-depth analysis over the NFL and college football. We preview all the action coming your way over the weekend. And we break down all the big action after it's happened. Plus, we tackle all the big news topics and discuss everything when it comes to the gridiron. So come check out Football to the Max every Tuesday morning and Friday morning on the W2M network.
Are you an arena football fan looking for the latest news involving your team? Inside the Arena has you covered. Check us out for the latest news around both the Arena Football League and the Chinese Arena Football League. Read all of our stellar articles at InsideTheArena.org. Also, follow us on Twitter at Inside_Arena and like us on Facebook at Facebook.com/InsideTheArena.
The following podcast is a W2M Network original production. Visit W2Mnet.com for all of our other great podcasts, plus news, reviews, articles, and opinions from the worlds of wrestling, video games, football, and entertainment.
Welcome back to the SCU Show. I'm your host, SCU. Having a good show so far. I like the way these things are going today on the show. Hope you are enjoying listening to this show, which I know you are, because I'm awesome. Sorry. Big ego over here. Anyway, so big NFL news happened a few days ago, probably yesterday actually, or 2 days ago, whichever. Jeremy Maclin signed a 2-year deal with the Baltimore Ravens. Oh, great. Jeremy Macklin's going to do such good things. The Ravens are going to go to the play. Wait, what? Hold on. The Ravens had one of the best receivers in NFL history, and Steve Smith Jr. Steve Smith Sr., pardon me. No playoffs. Nothing. Zip. Zilch. Kaput. What makes you think Jeremy Macklin's going to lead them to the playoffs, first of all? They don't have I don't even know. Let me look this up. I'm pretty sure Justin Forsythe is not the team anymore. I will look this up. There is just a lot of missing pieces for the Baltimore Ravens. A lot. Like Joe Flacco? Well, first of all, not an elite quarterback, elite, whatever you want to say. Not at all. And whoever says that needs to get their brain checked. Joe Flacco is okay. I like Joe Flacco. Great quarterback. Good quarterback. Not great. He's good. He's not elite. He's not tier 1. None of that good stuff. No. You know, it's so sad in Baltimore. Even with the signing, I don't have any faith in them. Matter of fact, they look like the third best team in their own division. Third. I obviously must be talking about the Steelers and the Bengals, right? No, I am not. We'll start with Steelers. Obviously, the Steelers are winning the AFC North. There's no going back on that. Unless Big Ben suffers another injury and Landry Jones step in. Or Josh Dobbs, depending on how training camp goes for Pittsburgh. Steelers win in the North. That's not. There's no question behind that, barring any catastrophe. Sorry, I had to look for the word. Barring a catastrophe, Steelers winning North. That's it. It's already done deal. I mean, all right. So the Bengals, right? No. And people are going to flip when they hear me say this. On paper, the Cleveland Browns look like a better team than the Ravens. You look at the team's rosters. You tell me that the Browns do not look better than the Ravens. The Browns have a lot of things looking like they're going to go good for them this year. Go well. I mean, look at all these rookies that they got. Especially the big one is Jabril Peppers. I'm a huge fan of Jabril Peppers. He can do it all. He can be wide receiver. He could be a running back. He could be a kick returner, punt returner, whatever you need him to do. He can do it. And, of course, there's Myles Garrett. He's definitely going to spice up that defense for Cleveland. Definitely, there's no question. He's going to have a great season his rookie year. And he might win Rookie of the Year. At least Defensive Rookie of the Year. Depending on the quarterback that the Browns start, there's little problems there too. Corey Coleman, this is the year where he needs to show how great he really is, because I know how great he is. He showed that when he was at the Baylor. He was at Baylor. Yeah, injuries kept him out a few games. He didn't get to show everything, but from what we saw, Corey Coleman knows what he's doing. Corey Coleman can be a very successful wide receiver when he's healthy. I stick to that. So you go ahead, you look at the Browns roster, and you compare it to the Ravens roster right now, and you sit here and tell me the Browns will not finish with the Ravens. I will tell you, you're crazy. Because they look a lot better. And I really feel like they will finish second behind Pittsburgh. As crazy as it sounds, I do believe Cleveland will finish second in the division. Baltimore will finish third. Yes, Cincinnati, it's that bad. I've said this so many times. Why have they kept Marvin Lewis? He has been there 11 years. And he has not even won a playoff game. He hasn't made it out of the wild card. It's insane. I don't know if it's bad luck or the fact that he just chokes. Either way, Cincinnati is going nowhere as long as Marvin Lewis is their head coach. They're not. And just because Jeremy Maclin is with the Ravens, it doesn't mean anything. No, here's another thing that I've missed out. They got rid of Elvis Dumervil. Wow, that hit. Oh, he only had 3 sacks. Okay, he was injured, wasn't he? And he has an off year. So you get rid of him? That's like that's like wanting a refund on a piece of sourdough bread because it had a little black spot on it. Getting a little personal there. It's another story for another time. That's pretty much what the Ravens did. They wanted the money back for a sourdough bread that had a little spot on it. Get over it. Seriously, it's crazy. It is ridiculous that the Ravens let Dumervil go after he had just 3 sacks in a short season for him. I mean, everybody has an off year. You let him go. Shaking my head at the Baltimore Ravens. And their fans, too. One of my best friends is a quote-unquote Ravens fan. I would have him talk, I'm here to talk, but he's not much of a media guy. He doesn't really know much about the team. That's why I say quote-unquote Ravens fan. He doesn't know much about the team outside of Joe Flacco. It's funny. It's a joke. He's a great friend of mine. I can't wait to see him July 20th. But yeah, anyway, I really want somebody to listen to this podcast, go look at both rosters for the Browns and Ravens, and tell me that the Browns will not finish above the Ravens. Because I will tell you, you're crazy. I could be crazy. Maybe the Browns will finish 4-12, 2-14. Who knows? You don't know. You just don't know. But that whole Jeremy Maclin, he's going to help. No, he's not going to help anything. Nothing. What? He'll get you a few more yards on your stat sheet. Congratulations. You do that with a running back if you wanted to. Come on. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. That people think that Maclin will have this big impact for Baltimore. No. Not at all. None at all. There was something else I wanted to talk about. It was NFL related. It just slipped my mind. Oh, the Jets. That's right. New York Jets. That team. That is the new Cleveland Browns right there. At least for 2017. Maybe in 2018 they'll go back to being the Browns. The Browns will go back to being the Browns. But for 2017, the Jets are the Browns. They have the worst roster anybody has ever seen. Literally. Their most experienced guy is Josh McCown, who has a losing record over his career. Ouch. Christian Hackenberg, not ready. Bryce Petty, not ready at all. Nowhere near. 2 starting safeties will be rookies, most likely. Matt Forte, banged up. Washed up. You let Brandon Marshall go. He's on the other side of town now. You let Eric Decker go. He was the last piece of the puzzle. That was all you had, was Eric Decker. The one shining gleam of hope for the Jets. And they let him go today. I don't know what the Jets are thinking, what the Jets are doing. Already, I have no idea what they're thinking, what they're doing, any of that. I know nothing. But if I'm a Jets fan, and I know I work with a bunch of Jets fans on Last Word on Sports, and then there's Lewis, I forget his last name, editor of the Jets Press from Fansided. Right? I'll leave it at that. Big Jets guy. If I'm a Jets fan, I'm looking at the JETS, and I'm not looking at it as the Jets. We're in June. The season doesn't start till September. I'm looking at JETS. Just end the season. It's already done. There is one game that I feel the Jets can win. One. A lot of people disagree with me on this. There's one game on the Jets schedule that I feel they can win. October 1st, they host the Jaguars. That's the only game I can believe. They can't even beat the Browns. They will not beat the Browns the following week in Cleveland. It's not happening. Browns will beat the Jets, and that is going to be a huge celebration in Cleveland. That will be the cornerstone of the Jets season when they lose to the Browns in Cleveland on October 8th. Like that's it. Coup de grace. Icing on the cake. That's it. And if the Jets lose to the Jaguars, they're not winning at all in 2017. Book it. I tell you right now. 1-15 is the best, and I'm serious. 1-15 is the best case scenario for the Jets in 2017. Go for that number 1 overall pick. Don't get rid of Todd Bowles. Improve your defense, improve your offense, improve everything. All you have to do is get the number 1 overall pick next year. And don't go for Sam Darnold. Go for Josh Rosen. Better quarterback. I feel Josh Rosen has the better chance of succeeding. Josh Rosen has a way better chance of succeeding in the NFL than Sam Darnold does. That, ladies and gentlemen, is another story like everything else for another time. So that is going to do it here for the SCU Show. I'm your host, SCU. I want to thank you all for listening to the podcast here on W2Mnet.com or on iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, wherever you're listening to me and my wonderful voice. Thank you, Sean Garmer, producer, for producing this wonderful podcast. Check out him on Wrestling to the Max, Soccer to the Max, Video Games to the Max, pretty much all the podcasts to the max on WTMNet.com, iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, Google Play, and then some. Also check out This Week in the AFL, this week with me and Eric Watkins, and NAL Now will hopefully make a return this week. Playoff matchups are set, a lot to talk about, and the Jacksonville Sharks, well, they've done wrong. Kind of like the Jets have done wrong, but in a different way. Until next week, thank you for listening, and this has been the SCU Show. All right. Well, that was a great one. Can't wait to have it posted and whatnot.